Innovation is important because we need to move to the times, but like some innovation causes history to lose itself. We're quite like attached to our past. There's good and bad in that. If we are talking about production and like sustainability, there are hundreds of farms here. Why not we fight to sustain these farms and push them and improve them rather than like, oh, we should support the technological farms. Now, I mean, it's not a bad thing that technological farms are out. There are a couple there, but this is already here. Keep it here to remind locals of why it's important to have this, our heritage, how Singapore started, and how this has been sustaining our culture. It's those things that I feel are not being talked about.
A new type of meat has gone on sale in Singapore. It looks and apparently tastes just like the real stuff.
And I would wager that in a blind taste testing, I wouldn't know the difference.
You could choose which part of the animal to grow and what kind of texture to mimic.
To understand the core benefits of cultivated meat, it's useful to first understand the cultivation process of cultivated meat, right? Because cultivated meat is grown in a sterile environment, the meat itself is almost free of microbiological contamination, right? So that in itself, is one aspect. In addition, right, because of the way it's cultured, the amount of space we require, the amount of electricity, water we use it's part of the process is going to be significantly less than traditional agriculture. So whether it's from an animal ethics perspective, where you don't have to kill an animal to get meat, whether it's from a nutritional perspective, where the meat itself is cleaner, right, and resembles that of the actual meat, or, for example, from an environmental perspective, where you use essentially a lesser footprint just to produce. Right? These are all benefits of cultivated meat.
So I think Singapore is really trying to be on the forefront of sustainable things. And this is also one of the key reasons why we decided to sell cultivated meat. I've been to many abattoirs, I've been to many farms, and I've seen the way, the animals are grown and the overtaxing of sort of resources. And then at the abattoirs, when you see the animals, of course, get slaughtered, it's not the prettiest sight.
My role in Good Meat is actually a product developer and R&D chef. So as an R&D chef, we take this chicken and then we create as much possibilities as we can, different dishes, different way of cooking it. But as a product developer, that's when, we take the cell paste and then we make this chicken.
I think consumers for this technology or this product are mostly the youngsters. And this is not just something that I think. We have done a couple of surveys in Singapore, Hong Kong, Korea, Japan, and we see that it's the younger millennial Gen Z population that's more interested in sustainability, impact, newer technologies that can feed them, and so on. And among them, we see a lot more adoption from flexitarians. So people are already consciously making different choices of food, consciously avoiding meat and seafood maybe once in a week or once in a day or whatever it is. So I would say the early adopters would be the flexitarians, but our mass population at the end of the day are hardcore meat and seafood eaters. I think Singapore is an excellent test bed for a lot of new technologies because we have multiple nationalities here, we have multiracial, multi-cuisines, we have access to the best restaurants, be it Michelin star, be it hawker centers. We see the whole spectrum of food here. And it's a great test market to understand if the population wants to have these type of products, to gain feedback, all of that. But at the end of the day, it is a small country with less than 6 million in population. So it's a start market for us, but it's so very well connected to the other countries in Asia that we can expand quite easily with the help of the government and the other institutes around us.
I cannot see like us surviving till 2050. To be very, very honest, that's 27 years down the road. I don't see this kind of structure surviving till then. Climate change, everything change, people's ideals change. We don't know, I don't know whether we can stick still there, but I will, as far as I can, fight for it to be around for as long as possible. I'll be, I don't know, 60, 70 then. I don't know whether I'll...
There is an active need and an urgency, right, for the traditional farming community to assess how it's going to adapt to changing times. And as they do so, it means better, more secure supply for everyone. For cultivated meat, for good meat, I think we want to be alongside that journey, right? We want to provide the traditional farmers with more options. We want to provide the consumers with more purchase options. And in doing so, I think we don't see them as competition or necessarily a very destructive dynamic between the industries. I think it's more of that of how do we coexist together, right? And continue on our respective innovative journeys to ensure that the end market has options that are more climate friendly. I think that honestly would be the dream goal that cultivated meat will be, right? And seeks to be alongside sustainable farming.
Whenever you fly in and out of Singapore, simply just look out of the window and you'll see around Singapore border, you see little huts around on the sea. These are our fish farms and there's like hundreds of them. It's more like a reminder that we're still around and this is what we do.